My rug.
Forget it, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Walter, he peed on my rug.
He peed on the dude's rug.
Donnie, you're out of your element, dude.
Play.
What's during league play?
Life does not stop and start at your convenience, you miserable piece of shit.
I figure.
Bitch.
Oh yeah.
I am the walrus.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Who's in pajamas, Walter?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
A few weeks ago, while searching for Valorant content on YouTube, I discovered a channel that was documenting a group of brothers and the drama among them. These videos piqued my interest so intensely that it led me down a rabbit hole, eventually discovering an entire film directed by the youngest brother, starring himself and his older siblings. And after viewing both his catalog of videos and his film, of course, I had to make a video. In his debut film, Ice Age Baby vs. Baby Yoda, John Hobbs delivers a subpar, derivative revenge story with cliched tropes and an uninspired narrative. But within the context of his other works, you will find that this film is a deeply symbolic, personal story about his dynamic in an abusive family. John Hobbs is not only this film's director, but also the victim behind it. And this film is his cry for help. To find this context, you'll have to go to his personal YouTube channel, where he has uploaded 238 videos worth of funny clip compilations, where he and his siblings play video games such as Valorant.
Hold on. I'm gonna get her.
Okay, get it.
Please don't throw this. Please don't throw this. Oh,
And Fall Guys.
Defense.
Stop it! Stop! Let's go!
3 beats!
4 P.
We're the fucking greatest.
We're fucking.
And in almost all his videos, he is the butt of the joke. The biggest offenders of which are his elder brothers, Luke and Coney Forpress. Take a look for yourself.
I thought it was him, dude.
Is this your first time playing the game? You're a moron.
for this one.
Sean! What's wrong with your
What
brain?
are you always talking to me about?
Yeah, one more
I
time.
don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
With the help of the context, you will soon start to notice that the choice of sibling to portray a character is deliberate by the director. With John Hobbs as Baby Yoda, it is clear that these characters are the relationships Hobbs has with his siblings. Coney Forpress has the Mandalorian, an older brother whom he seeks guidance from. Luke as Diego, his oldest brother always observing Hobbs, waiting for him to make a mistake, so to punish him. Scott is Sid, the sloth, a voice of reason behind the family, and a close friend to Hobbs. Bernard, Ninja, as Ice Age Baby, the impressionable younger brother manipulated by his siblings to despise Hobbs. With everything we've learned in mind, let's begin. In the beginning moments of the movie, after crash landing on Europa, Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian are disoriented. Instinctually, Baby Yoda follows Mando, symbolizing how Hobbs perceives his older brother Coney as a figure of authority. Another thing to note in this act is Baby Yoda's lines. It's baby babble. This is how Hobbs feels to be perceived while speaking to his siblings. They look down upon him to the point of incomprehension, a lack of respect for Hobbs and his opinion. This idea is further reinforced when the scene of the two warming up at a campfire. No words are exchanged so as not to risk being ridiculed, though the camera is placed as if they were going to talk. In the subsequent scene, Manny the mammoth appears from the tree line to avenge the moose killed by Mando earlier in the film. And for the first time, Baby Yoda is seen in front of Mando, wanting to prove himself. He takes matters into his own hands. This proves to be a vital mistake. The exaggerated use of the minigun and the prolonged duration of the scene is an analogy for Hobbs's pent-up emotions exploding outwards with no regard. In his wake, Manny is dead, and from afar, Luke witnessed everything. This next scene represents the views Hobbs has on his brothers, how they gang up on him and verbally attack him. Luke returns to his younger brother, Bernard, with of Hobbs' betrayal.
Manny's dead. Ice Age, baby. What are we gonna do?
Resulting in Bernard gearing up and delivering this line.
The thing is, Diego, nothing is given in this world. It must be taken in blood.
This quote, when dissected, illustrates how Hobbs is treated in his family. The first part of the quote, "Nothing is given in this world," states how Hobbs's brothers believes there are no second chances when he repeats the same mistakes over and over and over.
The mask.
Still in sight. Can't go there.
Are you serious? YOLO.
The second half, "It must be taken in blood," alludes to the consequences his brothers believe he deserves, specifically blood, describing the punishment justified for the severity of these actions. Continuing from this scene, the two groups have a confrontation. This leads to Coney and Luke fighting to their deaths, symbolizing the deterioration of the family's relations. Next, Hobbs and Bernard confront. Bernard states he'll pay for what he's caused, and Hobbs, seemingly feeling cornered, lashes out with meaningless vulgar threats, stating, this line causes a shootout between the two. But what's interesting is that Bernard, torn by a perhaps lapse of judgment, wants to help Hobbs rather than seek revenge. As bullets fly, Bernard intentionally misses his shots, while Hobbs doesn't, and soon after retreats, ending the scene. These two scenes are important to the director's message, especially the second one. It's a moment of self-reflection by Hobbs about the damage he's caused to the family and the refusal to admit accountability.
Why don't we have smokes, you fucking idiot?
Okay, I think this isn't my fault.
You're a spaz. You're like retarded.
I was the third pick.
Oh, I'm never doing with him again. I'm deleting every message I sent.
I think he does shit like this every
This isn't my fault at all.
Another element that elevates the scene is the music chosen. It casts a somber mood over the entire exchange between Hobbs and Bernard, beginning when the camera is above the bodies of Luke and Coney, and then leading to the second confrontation till the scene ends. It echoes the message that this conflict was unnecessary, that this was all avoidable, and that there are no winners when brothers fight. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Bernard joins Scott to mourn the loss of his siblings, to which this conversation is spoken.
It's just that's left now. Just two remnants of the Ice Age.
He's still out there. I need to find him.
In this, Scott speaks about the losses in the family, stating he and Bernard are the last two remnants of the Ice Age. But in actuality, there are three remnants: Hobbs, But this exclusion could be interpreted as Scott disowning Hops for going against the family. But the next line spoken by Scott could perhaps contradict this idea.
Don't do this, Ice Age baby. Either he kills you or you kill him. How many bodies need to be buried?
Displaying remorse for their brother. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Bernard, blinded by revenge, ignores Scott's warnings and sets off to finish what was started. In the final scene, Hops anticipates Bernard's arrival at what appears to be a shrine. Bernard, driven by a desire for revenge for his fallen brothers, confronts Hops. However, Hops is devoid of remorse, serving any connection to his brothers when he states, The tension escalates as the camera frames them in silent dialogue, similar to the first scene, reflecting the exhaustion of all other avenues to seek resolution, except violence. This confrontation is a metaphor for Hops' idea of seizing control of his fate and standing up against his brothers, further reinforced by the choice of music, the iconic Duel of Fates from Star Wars. The duel ends with Bernard delivering the fatal blow, killing John Hops. Even in his film, the internalized inferiority caused by his brothers permeates through. The music slowly fades away and the tone shifts. Revenge has been exacted, and all that remains is the lifeless body the brother Bernard once loved. In the last scene, Bernard turns and walks away from the camera. And takes his own life. Something I just want to quickly touch on is that a major motive that can be seen prevalent throughout the film is the use of referencing his past YouTube videos. The biggest reference of which is the final duel between Hops and Bernard, Ninja 124R, happening 8 months prior to the film's release. The film Ice Age Baby vs. Baby Yoda by director John Hops tells the story of the abusive experience of being ostracized by one's brothers. This film serves as a medium for the director to express his long-suppressed emotions, emotions silenced due to
an environment where I'm afraid to say I fucked up.
Oh my god!
No, YOLO. It's your fault that you fucked
fucking
up. You
victim
don't
pussy.
understand. It's your fault that you're a fucking idiot. You didn't age enough.